Are you ready for the biggest Social Security update you truly cannot afford to miss? Because starting this year, millions of Americans are waking up to something many have never seen in their lifetime: a locked-in permanent raise to their monthly checks. And the surprising part? Most people don't even realize how much more they're actually getting or how this change will quietly reshape their budget for years to come. Whether you depend on Social Security today, plan to file soon, or care for someone who relies on these benefits, what I'm about to share will directly influence how secure you feel every single month. For years, rising prices have chipped away at retirees' buying power, stretching every dollar thinner and thinner. But this latest adjustment finally shifts things in the right direction. It puts money back into your pocket, not temporarily, not conditionally, but for good. The increase is locked in, it's automatic, and it becomes part of your new foundation. And yet, most people only see the headline number and move on without understanding what this raise really means for their long-term financial comfort. Today, I want to break this down for you in a way that feels simple, calming, and easy to understand. No jargon, no overwhelm, just the truth about how this raise works and exactly what it means for you. This update matters so much more than most people realize, and I want to explain why in the clearest way possible. Every year, Social Security adjusts benefits using something called the cost of living adjustment. Now, I know terms like that can sound complicated, but at its heart, this adjustment is simply Social Security's way of keeping your check in line with rising prices. When groceries go up, when utilities jump, when medications cost more, you feel it. Seniors feel it more than anyone. So these adjustments are meant to help your income keep pace with the world around you. And while the increase this year may look small compared to some of the bigger jumps we've seen recently, its impact is far from small. Even an extra $20, $30, or $50 each month can make a real difference when you're living on a fixed income. It can mean breathing room in your grocery budget, a little more flexibility at the pharmacy, or just knowing you're not falling further behind. Now let's talk about what this new permanent raise actually means, because that phrase has been floating around everywhere: online posts, news headlines, conversations, and yet very few people understand what makes this increase permanent in the first place. When Social Security gives you a raise through the annual cost of living adjustment, that new amount becomes your forever baseline. It's not a temporary boost. It's not a trial amount, and it's certainly not something that disappears once the economy settles down. Once your check goes up, that number stays with you for life, and every future raise you receive will be added on top of this new amount, not the old one. That's why people are calling it a permanent raise, because it changes your starting point for every month going forward. But here's where the confusion begins. Many people assume everyone gets the exact same increase in dollars. They hear a headline talking about a 3% raise or a 4% raise and think it means every single person gets, say, an extra $50 or $100. But that's not how Social Security works. This is a percentage-based increase. That means the amount of your raise is tied directly to the benefit you already earned over your working years. If your current monthly benefit is higher, your increase will be larger in dollars. If your benefit is lower, your increase will be smaller in dollars. It doesn't mean anything is wrong. It simply reflects how Social Security calculates growth based on your personal earning history. So let's take a moment and walk through exactly how to calculate your new amount. Because understanding the math, even in the simplest form, can give you a sense of control and confidence. To find your new benefit, all you need are two numbers: your current monthly payment and the cost of living adjustment percentage for the year. Multiply your benefit by the adjustment percentage, and that tells you how much extra you'll receive each month. For example, if you currently receive $1,800 a month and the adjustment is 2.8%, you divide 2.8 by 100 and multiply that number by $1,800. That comes out to around $50 more each month. If someone else receives $3,000 a month, their increase will be closer to $84. Meanwhile, someone receiving $1,200 might see around $33 added. When I explain this to people, I often see the same reaction, a sense of relief. For many retirees, Medicare Part B premiums are automatically deducted from their Social Security checks before the deposit even reaches their bank account. So even though your gross benefit, the amount Social Security promises, goes up with the new adjustment, your net benefit, the amount you actually receive, may look a bit different. Some years, Medicare premiums increase more than others. And in certain years, those increases have been large enough to absorb most of the cost of living adjustment raise for millions of Americans. This year, the impact varies person by person. Some seniors will see the full benefit of their raise. Others may notice that part of it has been offset by a higher Medicare deduction. And while that can feel frustrating, especially when you're counting on every dollar, it's important to remember that the raise itself is still there. It hasn't disappeared. It's simply being shared between your monthly income and your healthcare coverage. Your benefit hasn't been reduced. Your raise hasn't been taken away. What you're seeing is a reflection of how Social Security and Medicare work together behind the scenes. And once you understand that, those confusing numbers start to make a lot more sense. If you ever want to verify exactly how your new amount breaks down, your official Social Security notice shows every detail from your gross benefit to each deduction and your final net deposit. Another question I hear all the time is, when will I actually see this new amount in my bank account? And that's such an important question because Social Security's payment schedule can feel a little confusing, especially if you rely on that deposit to pay bills, buy groceries, or cover medications. The timing depends on your birthday. If your birthday falls in the early part of the month, your payment usually arrives in the second week. If your birthday is in the middle or later part of the month, your deposit will land in the third or fourth week. So even though the new raise becomes effective in January, not everyone sees it at the same time. Some people enjoy the increased amount right away, while others may need to wait a week or two. And if you're ever unsure whether your check is late or something is wrong, remember this: the Social Security system follows a very predictable schedule. Your payment is coming. It just may not come at the exact same moment as someone else's. Now that we've talked about when the new amount arrives, I want to shift into something incredibly practical: how you can make the most of this raise, even if it feels modest at first glance. Small amounts used wisely can create very real security. Even an extra $20 or $30 a month can become the difference between financial stress and financial breathing room. The first thing I encourage you to do is look at the categories in your life that have risen the most. Things like groceries, utilities, transportation, or medications. These are the places where your dollar doesn't stretch as far as it used to. Directing your increase toward those areas can help ease pressure in a way you'll feel immediately. Another powerful approach is setting aside a small portion of that raise for emergencies. And when I say small, I truly mean small. Even $10 or $15 a month. When a tire goes flat, when a prescription suddenly costs more, when life throws something unexpected your way, having that tiny buffer can turn a stressful moment into a manageable one. It's not about saving a fortune. It's about creating peace of mind. As we come toward the end of this conversation, I want to leave you with a gentle reminder of what this new permanent raise really means for you. It's not just a number. It's not just a line on a statement. It's a reflection of the value of your lifetime of work. Every early morning, every long shift, every challenging moment you push through, it all built the foundation of the benefits you receive today. This raise is part of the system's promise to help you keep your footing as the world around you becomes more expensive, and I hope it brings you a sense of stability, reassurance, and financial breathing room in the months ahead.